Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to another cast of the Nexus Gaming Series. I am Odd Thought. I'll be your host tonight. And I am joined by the inimitable Silver Jackal in the co-host chair. Say hi to the world, Silver Jackal.
Hello, world.
Yeah, so thanks for joining me. And let's look at well, first of all, we're in Division B Northeast. I have to find my head here. Division B Northeast, we have a matchup between ProBUs, will be the blue team this evening, and amateur opponents, they'll be in the red trunks. Coin flip situation, and I'll go to the map screen here. Coin flip situation, amateur opponents won the coin flip. They elected to take first hero pick. So, ProBUs elected to take us to Alterac Pass.
Your favorite map.
Yeah, I'm starting to get PTSD from that map, quite frankly. Right on. And so that's where we're at. Do you have any opening comments, any thoughts about Alterac Pass, where we're headed?
Pretty much it's going to all come down to how well they can stall that objective and how well they get the camp out.
Yes. Like clockwork, take that camp so it marches down the center of the map. Kind of a...
Just soak all the experience. That's all you really got to do on this map.
Right, well said. In terms of the bans, I skipped over the map bans. ProBUs banned Braxis and Battlefield of Eternity. Amateur opponents banned Dragonshire and Towers of Doom, so that we will not be seeing those during this particular best of three. And an interesting thing that I learned while we were setting up for this cast is that these two teams just played each other over in a different league, which shall go unnamed, but it was a playoff match. And as I understand it, amateur opponents, they found their way into a reverse sweep against ProBUs. So let's see, this could be a tasty revenge match opportunity for the team in blue. So that's our setup. In terms of this season, so far, ProBUs has 6 points with 2 dominations. So they're sitting in 5th place. They're actually tied for 2nd. There are several teams with 6 points right now in Division B Northeast.
Fun.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy early season so far. Amateur opponents, they've played 1 match so far. I happen to have cast that earlier this week. And they earned a domination there. So they're sitting with 3 points out of 1 match. It's pretty darn good, wouldn't you say?
I would, yeah. Seems like Northeast here is pretty well matched up.
Yeah, this should be a really fun division to watch as it develops. Regen Ghost is at the top with 8 points, 2 dominations. So nobody's quite running away with it yet. Looks like the lobby's full of players. Let me say caster ready and we can get into the draft. Thanks to all of you for tuning in as we enter the draft for game number 1 in this best of 3 series in Division B Northeast, between ProBUs on the left side of your screen and amateur opponents on the right side of your screen.
Let's see if anyone picks up Junkrat. He's really strong on this map.
Junkrat, Chromie, what are some other favorites that you'd look to ban?
Stukov.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Stukov with the silent circle that can be maintained ad nauseum. I was going to say ad infinitum, but I think ad nauseum fits that character better. Well, there's a pokey hero, Lunara. She won't be making an appearance in this particular match.
She is annoying to deal with and has some crazy damage post 16.
And we mustn't discount the vision that she's able to give her team.
True.
Can really empower a team's tactical ability, decision making. And there's the Stukov aforementioned.
I believe it was Butte that plays the healers, and she plays a really good Stukov. So
Indeed. She had some pretty good disengages in the last set that I cast for them. Among other things.
Chromie Van.
Yep.
Love to see it.
This is going to be Li Ming.
Maybe Hogger. He's
or
still
maybe
up.
a split
Gazbo.
pusher. That's true. A lot of good bruisers in the game right now. None of which have been choked out. Tychus, yes. He's in a very healthy place, I think.
Oh yeah.
The wait is over.
Someone else who's in a healthy place, Cassia.
I was not expecting a first pick Cassia, to be honest.
I wonder which ultimate they're going to go for. I've seen a little bit of both smattered around games recently. But it's hard to deny the value from Ball Lightning. What's the response here in the first rotation from ProBUs? What lessons have they learned from the series they just played? It's going to be Sonya, very, very strong bruiser, and Johanna, a perennial favorite in the tank spot.
We do have the Popo Joe saying that it's very suspect that AO doesn't ban Alterac versus ProBUs.
What about?
They're really strong in this map.
I was just about to say, what about Light Bomb? So, amateur opponents electing to perhaps on purpose split those two up. Johanna and Anduin like to play on the same team.
Interesting stuff here. We got Sylvanas and Cassia.
Sylvanas likes maps where she can enhance the objective by shutting down buildings. And this is one of them, since the objective damages buildings. Muradin banned.
Be a mageless.
A mageless game. Mm-hmm. No mage comps.
Muradin, huh? Won't get to see the playmaker this game.
Yeah, maybe so. Oh no, we won't because he's banned. I see what you're saying. And Li Ming, called out earlier by my partner in crime. Popo Joe with another comment. ProBUs beat AO twice on Alterac in this weekend's tournament.
So I guess they want some redemption here then.
Fun facts from chat. Thanks a lot. Also, I want to say hello, Yitbosser, first time visitor to my stream. Uther and Mephisto. What do you think of that rotation?
That's going to be interesting. I can see the Mephisto working with Blessed Shield. You got Divine Shield or Divine Storm as well. They have a lot into Durance. It could be pretty nasty.
Yeah, we've done that a few times on our own team, if memory serves.
Mm-hmm. So far, it looks like they could have a lot of CC here. Sonya goes Leap as well.
And responding to that CC with a Deathwing, that's not too shabby of a move. And then they have some CC of their own with the Diablo pick.
I don't know about the Deathwing into a Mephisto. It could be pretty rough for him.
Muskigo.
See how it plays out.
Muskigo, welcome to the stream. Yes, indeed. Falstad. So global on this map, that's really great. The disengage possibilities are there. Pretty
I think I'm way over
drafts.
on ProBUs here.
Yeah, you're leaning in that direction after the draft?
Oh yeah.
I know you're a Mephisto fan.
I am definitely a Mephisto fan.
Yeah, it'll remain to be seen the effect Deathwing is going to have on this game to counter all that CC.
I mean, they have a solid 5 seconds where they can keep their team from moving with Divine Storm, Bless Shield, Leap, and even Endurance into it could be pretty nasty.
Right. And Uther can, of course, stun twice in rapid succession. What is it? When does he get that? Talent's like level 16?
13? 16? Something
like that.
One of those.
We'll find out in a moment. But
You're
yeah,
the healer player. You should
I
know
know.
this.
My memory is top notch. I really like the global pickup from Falstad, but we have something not too dissimilar in Deathwing on the other side. The Sylvanas pick is interesting if they amateur opponents is able to win objectives. That's extra value there. Let's see. AO has a lot, or ProBUs has a lot of CC, but amateur opponents has Anduin, so they can cancel out some of that perhaps. So, yeah, it's going to be intriguing.
Uh-oh.
What? Probius had no icon synergy, so probably GG, says Bobo Joe.
Can't hear you talking, Odd, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
Okay, I can hear you. We'll see how that works out. Alright, so to kick things off, in the blue trunks, we have Probius. Mephisto, played by John Bunyan. 8-Bit's going to be playing Johanna. Falstad, played by Zati. Sage playing Sonya, and Uther, piloted by Irby. On the red side of the map, we have amateur opponents. Cassia, played by Sonic's Bro. Butte Holiday, playing Anduin. Sylvanas, played by Cactus Ham. E-Day15 on Diablo. And Deathwing, played by Terminator. And here we go. So let's see, Probius looking to start the XP party right away in all 3 lanes perhaps? Mephisto and Johanna coming back up to mid though. I guess they want a little bit of this preliminary fight. E-Day sharking around, checking the bushes on the other side of the map. Sylvanas makes her way bot, where Zati is already at work. Terminator breathing fire on those unfortunate minions. Camps are up, and Sage will be the first one to acknowledge that fact with their hero. Amateur opponents making their way over. It's going to be Butte Holiday and it's Sonic's Bro 33. With Uther joining in the fun on the other side of the map. We have 2v1 top lane, John Bunyan getting flipped and stunned with an additional follow-up stun, and some fire breath keeping John Bunyan from escaping until he does. No kill there. 3 versus 3 in terms of experience levels. The blue camp is starting to march down middle lane just a little bit earlier than the red. Just keep poking around with these 2 lanes. They're both very important. Zati looking a little low on health. John Bunyan teleporting in, getting a little bit of AoE damage. And actually, Sylvanas scored a kill bot. I did mention that Zati was low and got blown up. Terminator very aggressively positioned, going head-to-head with Sage. Blue camp in the middle is cleared. And the red one's about to be cleared as well. 4 versus 5 in terms of experience. Amateur opponents just a little bit ahead. There's a Diablo flip on Johanna. She pops her iron skin. Out comes the bowling ball of hate. Tags Butte Holiday ever so slightly. From Mephisto. Cactus Ham going back to core to reset. Objectives are up. We have these 2 camps and they have to be capped and controlled for a certain amount of time, 30 seconds to be exact. Whoever manages to do that first will win the objective. Alright, so Looks like amateur opponents are investing fully in starting that timer I was talking about, and they do. Meanwhile, ProBUs are busy soaking all 3 lanes, doing more of a meta approach to the map. And they are going to have an XP gain as a result, ever so slightly. Falstad trying to get full value from their global. And here's a full-on scrum as ProBUs tries to stop that timer. Only 2.7 seconds remain. 8-bit is super low. Cactus Hound wanting the kill. Under 300 health for Johanna, and she is out of the fight for a little bit. Amateur opponents trying to finish off this objective. Out comes a stun from Terminator. Diablo finds a target in Sage. And Sonya is blown up. Amateur opponents won the objective. And that's going to be 3 Raiders riding down the 3 lanes. And right now we have, let's see, it's going to be 1 defending bot on the side of ProBUs. Amateur opponents are sending 3 down to bot. They see a potential pick on Falstad. There's the flip. Charge, no stun though. And there's the kill. 3 kills to 0 in favor of amateur opponents. Top lane we have a 1v1, Sage defending there against Terminator. Middle has been cleared and bot has some pressure still from 4 members of amateur opponents. 8 to 8. There's the flip from E-Day. And that's gonna be all she wrote for this objective phase as the final raider falls. Both camps are up. Kirby and John Bunyan starting the blue version, and Zati and Cactus Ham kind of trading blows a little bit in mid. E-Day 15 soaking some XP in the bottom lane. Sonic's Pro 33 and Butte Holiday working on their camp. Out comes the blue siege camp marching down middle. This map is a bit clockwork in that respect. Take middle camps, soak lane. Take middle camps, soak the lanes. Let's see what's going on up here. Terminator getting some solid siege done up here. T chasing them off. These 2 camps are going to meet in the middle. Not make much progress. Both teams doing a great job of keeping that clean. Let's see if E-Day can find a target here. Looks like something that might happen. No, doesn't quite get to 8-bit. 8-bit wisely walking away. That can be a bridge of death, especially with Diablo involved. And we're just working the lanes right now. Level 10s acquired by both teams. Endurance of Hate, Blessed Shield, that's the combo we were talking about during the pregame. Mighty Gust for the disengage. We have Leap and Divine Shield. That's what ProBUs are serving up. Ball Lightning, Light Bomb, Wailing Arrow, Apocalypse, and Bellowing Roar out of amateur opponents for ultimates.
Time for some action. Let's free our soldiers.
This time amateur opponents are happy to soak all 3 lanes. They're not moving into the objective right away as they did the last objective. 3 members of your red team working on their siege camp. We have 2 members of the blue team on their siege camp. Keep that machine working. The wave is slightly unfavorable to ProBUs, so that's going to allow amateur opponents to perhaps make a move into the objective. Terminator's taking care of the blue siege camp, and amateur opponents are looking for a capture. Cactus Ham channeling right now. Succeeds. This one requires 40 seconds instead of 30 to capture. Sati harassing Terminator just a bit. Out comes Blessed Shield, I think. And a whole bunch of ultimates now. APOC, Endurance of Hate, and the blue life bars are dropping fast. Sonic's Bro below 400 health. Sage below 400 health. Cactus Ham looking for the kill. Gets one on. Well, Falstad died to PvE. And Sonya is also dead. The objective is not currently counting up, or counting down rather. What is up, what is down? E-Day 15 with stun on Johanna, who pops her iron skin and walks to the safety of her fort. Butte Holiday is thereby allowed to cap the objective. And ProBUs just has to content themselves for the moment with cleaning up waves, getting XP. Both teams have 13s. But the objective is won for the second time in a row by amateur opponents. 8-Bit might be in a smidgen of trouble. We have 4 red health bars surrounding Johanna. Out comes Ball Lightning to maybe secure that kill. Johanna, it's tough to finish her off. But that can't be said for this top 4. It looks like that's going to go down fairly easily. Maybe not. Nice response out of ProBUs. Out comes Endurance of Hate. Butte Holiday pulling E-Day 15 to safety. Here's the Raider. And that'll be a dead fort one way or another. 8-Bit's low. E-Day 15 is about 70% healthish. Healthish. New word for you. And looks like AO is going to be happy to keep pushing this top lane. There's a flip from E-Day with APOC. Terminator drops down from the firmament. There's a disengage from Zati. Does not affect Terminator at all, of course. Can't CC the dragon. Down goes the keeps. Gate structure. 8-Bit still low. Finding it tough to stay healthy. Out comes a stun from Terminator. Misses everybody. And some fire breath as well. And that's going to be the end of that. The other lanes were cleaned up, but not before we had more structures go down. Amateur opponents currently ahead in XP 15 to 14. They're ahead in kills 5 to 0. And they're ahead in structures 6 to 3. ProBUs looking for a way to turn the tide in their favor. They're making a boss call. E-Day moving in. Sonic's Bro 33 already there. ProBUs decide to let the boss leash. But Sonic's Bro 33 doesn't want to do that. They're going to continue this, and they're just going to take the boss. It's going to be a bloodless boss steal. Shall we call it that? No one died on the blue side for that. That's smart play in that regard from ProBUs. They lost the boss, but they're not feeding any additional XP to amateur opponents, who are making their way down to the third objective, which is going to be between bot and middle lanes. ProBUs need to clean up this boss, try to save their top keep. Amateur opponents have started the bottom boss. Terminator working mid lane a little bit. Top keep is saved. And this is the double boss play. Ye old double boss play. ProBUs are getting in position to defend the objective. They do need to find 16 somewhere. Level 16. Trying to get XP. E-Day 15 saying, nope, you're not getting this XP. ProBUs playing patiently, waiting for that 16. They're so close. As soon as they get it, they can move in. This objective requires 50 seconds of control. as the boss, which has been turned red, is marching right to left. It will not even approach. It might finish off both towers. 16s are acquired though by ProBUs. They're going to move in. Be checking the bush. Sage is in. Out comes the APOC, the Durance of Hate, Terminator breathing fire all over the place. Light bomb. E-Day 15 is very low. I see ball lightning bouncing around. You're going to have 3 deaths, 2 red, 1 blue. ProBUs pushing amateur opponents off the objective. Actually, it looks like only 1 death aside, doesn't it? Alright, Butte Holiday, E-Day 15, Sonic's Pro working on their camp. Sage, John Bunyan finishing off Siege Camp on the left side. Health bars are not at their best right now for the blue team. Red team moving in, looking pretty healthy. 8-Bit gets rooted, gets stunned. There's another stun out of Terminator, some fire. Scarecrow. There's a flip. Sage seeing fantastic leap from Sonya. That's going to be a dead Cassia. ProBUs is starting to feel it now. 3 kills to 6. But those 3 kills have been later on in the game, so perhaps a little more value, arguably. But amateur opponents only needs to channel the objective for 0.4 of a second in order to secure it. 8-Bit moving in with John Bunyan. Down comes Terminator, fully healed. E-Day 15 in trouble, gets pulled to safety, question mark, by Butte Holiday. Out comes a light bomb doing both defensive and offensive work. Maybe Diablo dies. That's going to be a full Diablo death, full minute. 8-Bit below 600 health is going to have to back up a little bit and recoup. Quite the defense here from ProBUs. Sage trying to channel. Gonna have a little bit of trouble with the likes of Deathwing poking at the objective, interrupting ZT in trouble. But maybe, no, that gets, the script is flipped. Well, ZT still falls, but not until after Cassia dies again. Cassia having a little bit of a rough time in the last few minutes. 18 to 19. Amateur opponents looking for level 20. That's going to be a kill on Deathwing, though. Sage moving in on Cactus Ham. Meanwhile, 8-Bit moving in on Butte Holiday. 2 different bits of aggression. Amateur opponents acquire level 20, but they're down 2 heroes. It's not the optimal world for them, as ProBUs has really made a statement during this third objective. They are channeling, they have 30 seconds to go until this objective becomes theirs. Amateur opponents will not have a full team for another 20 seconds. Amateur opponents goes ahead and takes their camp to help. Looks like they're accepting the inevitable. The Raiders this time are going to be blue. And we see, what do we see here? A boss call is made. So not only does amateur opponents have the camp moving down mid, but they're going to have top boss helping them out as well. ProBUs sniffs it out. They're moving up there, but will it be in time? Sage will be there. 8-Bit will be there. They get on the point. Out comes Light Bomb, out comes APOC, all kinds of stuns. More stuns from Deathwing. There's the Gust. E-Day getting pushed against a wall. That's going to be Cassia dead, Sonya dead. The boss turns blue. Successful boss steal by ProBUs. They won't get any value at all from mid. Bottom should do fairly well. It's unopposed there, so we can have a fight continuing top lane. ProBUs wants to invest in this boss that they just stole. Cassia is down for 30 seconds. Sonya is down for 32 seconds. There's a flip on Falstad into some fire. Excellent root follow-up by Butte Holiday to secure that kill. Out comes Durance of Hate onto E-Day. But that's going to be yet another pull to safety thanks to Butte Holiday and Anduin. E-Day wants 8-bit hot on the heels of Johanna. No go though. This boss made it all the way to the keep. Bottom lane, Fort fell. Diablo going down there to stop that bleeding. ProBUs was not able to get a keep destroyed. Very close though. Top keep is just a hair's breadth away from being destroyed. But ProBUs, they're still in this game. They've created a win condition for themselves top. Will they sniff out this posturing by amateur opponents over the bottom boss? They're heading down there. Falstad is still back by bottom keep, but can fly in. Pretty decent value out of wind tunnel out of Falstad during that last objective phase. Amateur opponent shows that they are defending mid. That gives ProBUs permission to take the bottom boss. Amateur opponents will have some mid lane pressure now that they've taken their siege camp. But that's going to be another blue tinted boss moving left to right along this bottom lane. And ProBUs wants to support it. They're smelling blood. They feel like momentum is on their side. Maybe? No, I was wrong. They're moving off. There's a danger ping. Perhaps instead they're saying, let's let the map do the work for us. Let's just secure this objective while they're clearing boss. It does take 50 seconds of time, of control time to secure the objective, so they're getting that started. Amateur opponents finish off boss and they're moving into the objective area. Sonic's Bro 33 and E-Day are the first ones to get there. Hanging out in the bush looking for a target. ProBUs are not giving them anything juicy outside of Johanna. Sage right next to Terminator getting some damage done. Takes out 1/4 of their health. That's going to force Terminator to fly to the right. Put some fire on the ground. There's the wind tunnel. ProBUs only need 20 more seconds of control to get that objective. Amateur opponents have 4 of their ultimates available. ProBUs have only 3. Durance of Hate and Wind Tunnel, or Gust rather, were used. ProBUs move down to their siege camp and secure that. Falstad's cleaning up top lane, which is unfavorable for ProBUs. And amateur opponents are starting the red timer. Only 30 seconds. Oh, it stopped at 33 seconds actually by ProBUs. So the blue team only needs 20 more seconds of control, the red team 33 seconds. E-Day 15 is trying to interrupt the capture of the point there while the rest of his team is working on that camp. Cactus Ham and Terminator move in, trying to stop the countdown. 7 seconds. It's all in for ProBUs. Out comes Durance of Hate. Butte Holiday pulling E-Day out and then putting Light Bomb down. No deaths as of yet. There's a leap in from Sonya. Another pull. Sonic's Bro 33 pulled to safety. Out comes Gust. Diablo dies, and meanwhile, ProBUs have captured another objective. This is looking pretty good for them. Terminator was perhaps in trouble top lane, was able to leap up into the sky. Amateur opponents will have 4 heroes with which to defend. This is probably the best chance, this middle lane, best chance for ProBUs to find value, immediate value out of the objective. Because the other 2 lanes were pushed so far in amateur opponents' favor. So they're all in right here. Terminator using all their mana on the fire breath, throws out a stun, catches the T. Is anything going to come from that? No. We have a movement toward bottom. That tower's dead. Are they going to be able to get a keep here? Terminator throwing out a stun. More fire breath. E-Day is back up. Throws some fire. And top keep is gone. It was so low to begin with. It was probably to be expected. ProBUs trying to keep attention down at the bottom lane. Terminator with a nice sweeping flight, putting some fire on the ground. Endurance of Hate is used, and there's a disengage wind tunnel gust. Whoops, and here we are, folks. We're in the 25th minute. 23 levels on each side, and we're back to doing the center camps. 8 kills to 9. Slight lead on that statistic for amateur opponents, but there's been a lot of ProBUs when it comes to kills in the last 10 minutes or so. Both bosses are up. Might see some dancing around one of those. Vision's going to be super critical here, how each team reveals themselves, or if they notice where the other team is.
You know what to do.
People checking vents, hiding out in vents, staying away from minion waves. It's the Cold War right now. It's all about intel, reading intentions, catching someone out. Amateur opponents starting the top boss. Seems to be some discussion going on, perhaps. And they ultimately decide, no, let's not do that. ProBUs are moving in on the objective. Let's be there. Sylvanas is still top. It's trying to make her way down. E-Day 15 getting poked a bit by Falstad, who takes poke from Cassia. The tension is thick. We're in the 27th minute. What's going to happen? One choice combo can result in a quick death and a 5v4 for either of these teams. So we're seeing a little bit of a dance going on. 8-bit looking at pulls E-Day. And here we go, perhaps. There's the stun out of Deathwing. There's Light Bomb, only catches one member. Oh, and Irby has a counter or response stun. E-Day 15 is really low. Pops APOC. D-Shield is used on Mephisto, but Diablo's going to go down. That's going to be a short death timer for Diablo, but they won't have very many souls. And Deathwing is blown up. Songspro 33 in trouble. 30 health, 40 health. Oh, the E-Day 15 save. There's the Butte Holiday pole. ProBUs looking for that elusive second full-length kill. Gust was used. Amateur opponents were right back into things, even though they're down 5-4. This is probably game, and they realize it. Out comes Ball Lightning, another Endurance of Hate. Ball Lightning securing a kill. Sylvanas dying, Johanna dying, Sonic's Bro low. Zati blows up. Sage and John Bunyan and Irby are all very low. Butte Holiday and E-Day 15 have robust life bars. 3 versus 2, but that's enough to make ProBUs go back to base and take a sip off the sippy cup. Butte Holiday and E-Day 15 managed to start the red timer. 43 seconds is all they need to secure this objective. Easier said than done. As Sage, John Bunyan, and Irby move back in, and the timer is stopped. ProBUs only need 11 seconds of control time to secure yet another objective. Level 24 to 24, 12 kills apiece. We couldn't be more even. Buildings are at 2-2. Again, these two teams just played each other recently in a tough series in another league that we won't name. And we're seeing more of the same tonight. In comes Falstad E-Day, stuns Johanna, kicking everything off. There's the Durance, there's the instant blow up on Butte Holiday. All that damage is being dealt. It's going to be tough to get it back without a healer. E-Day on 8-bit. Meanwhile, kills on Uther and Johanna. There's Wind Tunnel, but Falstad still is blown up. But so is Terminator. 3 kills aside. Sonic's Bro 33. No way of surviving this. Slam and Sonya credited with 3 kills during that fight. Sage stepping it up. Securing the objective. That's going to be easily won at this point. 2, 1, 0. And ProBUs wins that extended epic fight over this, could be the final objective phase of this first game. We're still in the first game of this series, folks. Will either team have anything left in the tank after this? Will I have anything left in the tank after this? We shall see. The members of ProBUs trickling their way to the front. Cassia is about to respawn. Sonic's Bro 33 is back up. We are 5 aside once again, although of course ProBUs has the objective pushing in, and without any keeps alive, it looks like this is up. 1 keep is still up, so there's a little bit of armor on the objective. The core boss here. Oh, keep dies, armor is gone. Wind tunnel, some last minute ultimates, but it's going to be GG for ProBUs in game number 1. Ooh-wee. There you have it. 32-minute game. 16 kills for ProBUs, 15 for amateur opponents. The healing numbers, Uther with 97.9k. Anduin with 97.1k. Super, super close. 29k experience for Falstad, 24k for Deathwing. Both of those offlaners putting in the work. 7 deaths for Falstad, but also 5 kills, 206k of siege damage. Some hefty numbers all around. Mephisto, maybe this is the stat of the game in some ways. Mephisto, John Bunyan, 0 deaths in 32 minutes of HOTS play. Whew. Trying to work out what's going on with Silver Jackal's comms so I can get my co-host back into this match. Let's look at the talents. Butte Holiday getting lots of value from Glyph of Faith. Saw some pretty choice wind tunnels here or there. Lots of Durances being thrown around. APOC, of course. Ball Lightning getting a lot of value as well. All right, so there you go. That's game number 1. We have potentially 2 more games to go. Amateur opponents did get a reverse sweep, a little bird told me before the match. The last time these 2 teams squared off, so anything is possible. Stay tuned. And I'm going to catch my breath here, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about NGS's Patreon. If you love NGS, why not become a supporter over at their Patreon page? Here's some information for you, and I'll be back on the other side. All right, Silver, are you back?
Yes.
All right,
I'm
we missed the dulcet tones of your voice during the first game,
Yep.
but that's fine. I think we have it worked out now, so welcome back.
Yeah, I was watching the whole game. For some reason, Discord, like, I saw your mic opening and closing, but you weren't making any sound.
Well, I was, hopefully, to stream at least.
Yeah, I pulled the stream up to make sure so I could
Okay,
hear you on the
good.
stream just fine.
Whew, you never know. Every stream,
Yeah.
I like to say, every stream is like Millennium Falcon. You just don't know. Knock on wood, what could possibly happen. But we got through it, and we might have another 2 epic games to go.
Yep, that's what I was worried about amateur opponents versus all that percent damage later game. Turned out like I thought it would.
Yeah, earlier they definitely were doing well, and then seemed to catch up to them a bit.
Oof.
Still though, they did well to overcome it. Extended that game to 32 minutes.
Oh, whoops.
That last objective was epic. But that was yesterday. Today is a new day. We're going to Volskaya Foundry next. Let me
One of
update.
my favorite maps.
Yeah? Say more. What do you love about it?
Sorry, I was made host of the lobby. I saw this switching up, but I know I just love it's all about managing the items well, and it's all team fight pretty much, and I love it.
Mm-hmm. Wonder if we'll see another Sylvanas as a result of that.
I would assume so with her level 4 Mercenary Queen. It can be pretty nasty for those turrets.
Indeed. It looks like, let's see, first hero pick is going to go over to amateur opponents, which means ProBUs picked this map. They picked Alterac Pass as well.
Do you want to be referee or spectator, they're asking?
Spectator is fine. Trying to update the map screen and our scores. Let's give 1 point to ProBUs. There we go.
Let's see if this is going to be the opposite of the last time they played, where AO reverse sweeps them.
Yeah, we'll see. That's if past is prelude.
That was definitely a long game, 32 minutes or so.
32 minutes, but never a dull moment, which you can't always say about those long games. Sometimes you're like, is this game ever going to end? Whoops. But not that time. It was just juicy fight after juicy fight. Every interaction was thick with potential cool stuff to talk about. There's that first ban Lunara once again.
Let's see if they try to counter or pick up some of the heroes so they can't have that stun, that chain CC. I was very happy to see the Sonya take a leap.
Oh, and there was that one fantastic leap.
Blue and doing up in
yeah.
like 0.1 seconds.
Really good stuff from the Sonya in the last game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but
It's like the same bands.
Yeah, so far all the same heroes. First pick this time, Cassius. So
pick.
That was the same as last game as well.
Yeah, this
Deja
is pretty
vu.
much the same exact game, right?
In Division B chat, somebody was joking about being stuck in Hot's Groundhog's Day. Somebody from Amateur Opponents like that. You play ProBUs, you wake up the next day, play ProBUs again. We have a little bit of a Groundhog's Day with the draft so far.
My blades are yours.
Okay, so no Johanna this time, but you do get the Sonya.
And a Mephisto for ZT instead of Falstad this time.
I do like Mephisto on this map, so I just like him in general.
Mephisto deathless in 32 minutes played last game. Can be
Love to see it, right?
really hard to get a hold of.
I will say that Anduin had several clutch pulls.
Oh yeah.
So let's see if they do that again.
Get another choice performance from Butte Holiday.
Are we going to see a falling sword light bomb?
Maybe so. E-Day 15 switching over to Johanna from Diablo. Probably just took a little bit too much percentage damage last game. It's kind of done with that.
Yeah.
More likely it's the light bomb
counter
combo.
picking the Johanna.
And Greymane is the final ban from ProBUs. They also got rid of Tychus and Stukov earlier. Chromie also out of the off the map. Final ban.
We have another no mage on the side of Amateur Opponents. I guess Sylvanas is kind of a mage.
On a band.
She is very nasty with the Mephisto.
Right. Give him additional spell power. That's pretty gross. All right, next rotation coming from ProBUs. We still are looking for a tank. We're looking for a healer.
May.
Deathwing and Muradin.
So you got the Deathwing switching sides.
Yeah,
and the Johanna switching sides.
A little bit of a reconfiguration. Who's going to wear it better? Final rotation from Amateur Opponents. They're looking for an offlaner and some more damage, perhaps. There's Leoric into the Deathwing. And Sylvanas. Very strong final pickup, thanks to all
you just call them Team Blonde.
Yeah. True. Sylvanas, a strong final pick here with all the accoutrements on the map that you were talking about. If Amateur Opponents can itemize to the fullest extent, could be quite nice. Raynor's the prediction.
Ooh.
Why Raynor though?
I didn't realize it had a healer.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Shows how much I was paying attention.
I followed you right down that path. That's how in sync we are, at least.
I was testing you.
Yeah, I failed. So yeah, Deckard Cain, lots of area control, lots of utility. Specifically what kind, what flavor of utility remains to be seen.
So what are you thinking on these drafts?
Well, the Blessed Shield into Light Bomb is nice. The Sylvanas pick, really nice. Cassius, just strong. Leoric into Deathwing is strong. But there are plenty of tools over on ProBUs' side as well. Mephisto is just generally very good right now. And we already saw excellent play out of Sage's Sonya. Their single target capability seems to be pretty strong, but they also have AoE tools over on the blue side, so...
Yeah, it could be
Commence
stun and root
operations.
with Durance, and Deathwing Breath could be pretty devastating.
Right. Well, do you want to call out the blue team for me?
All right, so we have Sage on Sonya, Zadie on Mephisto, 8-bit on Muradin. We got John Bunyan on Deathwing, and
The
is it
battle
Irby on
begins
Deckard?
in 10 seconds.
Well done. Over on the red side of the map, I like to pull up the list for myself. Anduin played by Butte Holiday, Johanna played by eDay15, Cactus Ham playing Sylvanas, Cassia played by SonixBro33, and Terminator is playing Leoric, and away we go. I didn't see...
Looks like Butte Holiday doesn't like the spooky worm.
Oh, that was the emoji. I didn't catch the emoji. Alright. Do you see any talent picks that you'd like at level 1?
I do see Perfect Storm and Muradin, which I usually always take myself, but I like doing damage. Surprised not to see the second one coming out for him.
So on this map, oh, 8-bit moving in on eDay15, little tank on tank interaction. Butte Holiday tosses
Also
out
very
a loot.
interesting.
What's
we
that?
have Sylvanas going the dagger build.
Speaking of Sylvanas, Cactus Ham has already started capturing items on the fortification camp already. Deckard Cain's starting the camp on the blue side of the map.
Oh, Cactus Ham. So low.
Ooh, yep. Sylvanas is going to head back to base and get recharged. Meanwhile, we're just gathering XP. Quite often see that rotation mid to top. See if anybody makes a move to capture the support camp. Both teams gonna hit 4 almost at the same time. Amateur opponents slightly ahead as they start choosing their level 4 talents. Meanwhile, ProBUs has started their siege camp.
Oh, Sarge. Or Sage, not Sarge. Huh.
Oh, let's look at
Flying
bot lane. What
fire
are you
there.
seeing down there? Oh yeah, got pretty low there. 500 health. And looks like amateur opponents want this support camp. They've made a move. ProBUs sniffs it out. Zati jumping in with some hate.
Oh, fire breath.
So much
What
AoE
was worried
damage.
about.
Here's a choice route. Catches 2 members. Oh, look at bottom lane while we were looking at this. Terminator was blown up. So Sonya was looking like they were in trouble just a little bit in terms of health bars, but the script was flipped. SonixBro33 starting on the red siege camp. 2 members of amateur opponents working on top lane XP. But ProBUs have started capturing the objective. They're at 10%. They need to get to 100% to summon the Tree Glove Protector.
I expect to see him get off and just clear top. Yeah.
Who? ProBUs?
Yeah.
Nobody up there yet. That camp is being left alone for now. We have full-on team fight.
Oh,
Yeah, so T down to 750 health. The Deckard root catches no one in that particular cast. And ProBUs are back on point. They're counting up to 40%. And it looks like Mephisto is going to deal with top lane while amateur opponents go to objective with 4 of their 5 heroes. Want to keep an eye on this bottom lane situation, Sage versus Terminator.
looks like Dagger's going Connie's cube.
8-bit super low with the healing item below 200 health is able to leap to safety. Muradin heading back to core to heal up. And that allows amateur opponents to move into the objective. Level 8 to level 7. ProBUs in the lead. What are you saying?
I was looking like Leo was thinking of invading. Excited against it though.
84% for ProBUs, 54% for amateur opponents. Leo's rooted by Deckard Cain. Sage and 8-Bit. Oh, 8-Bit is going to lose control of that healing item. And Johanna goes down as well. Sage is very low, below 400 health. Here's a two-person root from Deckard.
Those beefed up turrets. They always look so cool.
Getting that Sylvanas value. Amateur opponents putting in a little bit of siege work in mid. Left the point for a little bit. Or will they? ProBUs moving back in. There's 8-Bit jumps in. Out comes the Deckard root. And Anduin is blown up. Cactus Ham also goes down. John Bunyan flying in, laying down some fire all over the point. 84% to 99%. But amateur opponents are down 2 heroes. There's the first Tree Glove Protector of the match. ProBUs still feeling good after that Game 1 win. They hit level 10 first, put out some damage on the mid-gate structure, and they're moving to top lane.
Has taken control of a protector.
Any level 10s on the side of ProBUs stand out for you?
I'm a little surprised to see Deathwing not going the other ones to appear. It's pretty nasty on this map.
Tree Glove is pretty low.
Is great.
Yeah. And level 10 is achieved by amateur opponents. We see the likes of Blessed Shield, Wailing Arrow. No Falling Sword shenanigans. Terminator moving in. Sage slamming the ground. Whirling, spinning to win. No additional deaths from that last heated exchange. The Tree Glove Protector is left to blow up due to its timer.
Well done.
John Bunyan moving to top lane. 8-Bit in the vent, looking for some possibilities. Sees Butte Holiday. She cannot pull herself to safety. Can heal herself though, and does.
All the camps are up. Let's see if anyone starts taking them. Sonya's heading to their turret. Sylvanas and Anduin to theirs.
Indeed. Meanwhile, everyone else is middle. Throwing some damage around. 8-Bit has to leap away to a better position. Gets pulled in by Johanna. Down to 50% health. Out comes the Attune with the ball lightning. And Cassie is blown. Stay a while and listen. Into more stuns. There was a silence as well on Sage. But suddenly Cactus Ham is in a bit of trouble. That's going to be 2 deaths. 2 more deaths on the side of amateur opponents. Johanna and Sylvanas both dying. And ProBUs wants the support camp, so they get started there. So what went south for red team there?
Poor Cassie getting stuck into the durance with dragon breath all up on her.
Yeah, quite brutal. 8-Bit in that vent again. Does so much damage, siege damage with his hammer.
Yeah,
tower
level 7 is just so annoying. 80% slow for 1.5 seconds. It's just feels so bad.
Alright, 2 members of ProBUs working on the siege camp on the left side of your screen. The red siege camp is waiting to be addressed. Amateur opponents working the top lane. They sense maybe they could get a rotation kill.
Oh, plus shield lift.
Oh no, that's going to be an
A
ultimate
new terminal will be ready
unavailable to E-Day for 50 more seconds. The blue siege camp starting to make its way from left to right. and
Run, Cassia.
The red siege camp is being taken right now. Sonic's Bro 33 stunned by 8-bit. There's the pull to safety, question mark? No. Sage going in, spinning to win. Light bomb used as a deterrent. Endurance of hate coming out. Sage still very low, 250
Oh my
health.
gosh. How did he live?
John Bunyan having to fly to safety, and there's a last little adieu from Deckard Cain in the form of a scroll. Sonya
Pretty much
having to go
everything
back
used
to
as
base.
well.
Only, Wailing Arrow is available for amateur opponents, and Avatar still available for Muradin. That was a fight that amateur opponents wanted, though, because they're trying to get something going before ProBUs hits level 16. 8-bit by themselves has to jump out. The Anduin root doesn't hit, but there's more CC to contend with, and we have a full-on fight. Cactus Am very low. Turret is in jeopardy. Out comes Endurance of Hate onto Johanna. E-Day 15 struggling to get away. Slowed.
Slam.
The Entomb. Johanna is blown up. Light Bomb getting some value there.
Hero slain.
Sonya dying. Deathwing dying. This is looking... Oh, Butte Holiday's root did not catch the T. Irby goes down. And that fight looking really good for amateur opponents. They notched 3 kills, and it's exactly what they wanted this stage of the game. They don't even have 16s yet. They still got what they needed there. 16 to 15. They're hitting 16 right now. Cactus Ham and 8-bit showing some interest in the support camp, or at least the area. It's going to be 3 members of Archer opponents working on that support camp. But ProBUs have a full team as Deckard starts to make their way out of their base. And here we go.
Ooh, Muradin's in trouble.
Yeah, the Entomb, the root flies by. There's a light bomb. There's a stay a while. Listen.
Endurance. Breath.
Listen.
Oh,
Hero slain.
leap.
To Johanna pull in, unstoppable on Cactus Ham. E-Day 15 gets rooted by just the tip. Irby has a choice. Terminator is the one who gets picked for death, gets blown up. And E-Day 15 has to go back. So punch, counter punch. The objective is at 85% for your red team. 20% for blue. And now, it's amateur opponents who are down 3 heroes. Sati and Irby capture the blue siege camp for some additional lane pressure. ProBUs is up to 60, 67, 70% now.
Alright, here comes another team fight. Everyone has everything up now.
2 ultimates are missing on the side of ProBUs, though. I wonder if that'll make the difference. Out comes a stun catching Johanna, who has to use Iron Skin. Light Bomb is used.
Only hits one though.
Yeah. Stay a while. Entomb. Sage is very low.
Sage.
200 health.
Had to
Leaps
use
to
leap out.
safety.
Deckard's in trouble now.
Irby. Watch out. 200 health and is blown up. Sage moving back in. Cactus Ham low.
Stun.
Mephisto did not die last game, came close to it there, only 200 health. But Muradin's going to get credited for 2 kills. Leoric and Sylvanas dying.
Yep. Sylvanas really wanted that Mephisto. Dove in and just got murdered and stunned.
Paid the price. And ProBUs earns their first tree glove.
There is a huge wave pushing bot though.
Yeah, that's a check in the positive column for amateur opponents. ProBUs winning the race to 20 so far. They're about halfway there. Amateur opponents defending at level 18. We have 14 kills to 6 this game. ProBUs coming out firing on all cylinders in that regard. Whereas in game 1 they had to sort of play catch up. Tree Glove Protector has moved down to bot lane. That's where the next objective is going to be, if I'm not mistaken.
See if they dive past it.
John Bunyan's diving in. Out comes Ball Lightning and Stay a While, Light Bomb, and the Fear. Butte Holiday is in deep trouble. Tree Glove lunges and misses. See if she can use these sushi conveyor belts without becoming food. Oh. And down goes Butte Holiday. A valiant effort. An adventure of Lily proportions.
So that is the extent of the Protector's power.
Now they're gonna steal their turret, I assume. Yes.
Yeah. Good call.
Murder with that sledgehammer.
Right. It's all hands on deck around the bottom lane area. But amateur opponents, they do not have 20. They also do not have a healer. Deckard Cain throws out a scroll. Catches nobody. Sage there catches a lot of damage. The Durance Fire Breath combo does not reap the same rewards as it did earlier, although health bars are pretty low on the side of the red team. Meanwhile, these lanes are looking pretty good for red team. Top lane is all the way up to the fort.
I wonder if they'll invade the camp. Or they'll just let them have it. Yep, just letting them have it.
They want the support camp instead.
Probably the better call here.
The item can be used at the objective, whereas the camp can't, so that may have figured into things. You're expecting maybe a camp invade because amateur opponents, right? You know, they didn't have 20 at the time, but now they do.
Let's see what we got here. Anduin taking the second charge for Leap of Faith. Ooh, Johanna actually going for the shield for her allies.
Cool.
Bolt of the Storm on Sylvanas. Infinite Lightning again. And ooh, he's not going Silence Entomb.
Have to think that ProBUs are maybe a little bit relieved about that as they push in on bottom lane. They want to get some siege done. They're way behind on structures at this point. They only have 3. ProBUs still sitting pretty with all 6 structures up.
They got the well though. That's all they wanted.
Right. To set up for next objective.
I'm getting another terminal ready for you.
We're approaching the 19th minute on this match. Third objective phase coming right up as amateur opponents clears the top lane mess. They're going to work a little bit on mid XP and probably grab this turret, I would think.
Everyone's most hated objective.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
ProBUs wants it as well. We're going to have a fight right here. 8-Bit uses their leap in. Out comes the Entomb. Sonya jumps in, so much damage on Terminator, who gets blown up despite the pull from Anduin. 3 You said it. 3 quick kills for ProBUs. And they are right onto this keep. Lesser teams might have let lesser teams may have let their foot off the gas and gone back to objective, but heck no, this is, they smell blood. This could be a 2-0 domination.
Sylvanas jumped in.
8-bit harassing the back line. There's a light bomb. Pete Holiday trying to save herself, and yes, this looks like it will be a 2-0 going over to ProBUs. No reverse sweep this time, they said. And these two teams, watch out. We may see them both again in the playoffs, facing off against each other. Wouldn't that be epic? I think so.
Those combos are pretty nasty. Estonia Leap got a lot of value. Mephisto, percent damage is pretty nasty.
Percent damage seems to have been a major player in these two games. Mephisto, deathless in 52 minutes of play tonight. No deaths from Zati, 4 kills, top hero damage in the game, top XP in the game. Mephisto came to play in game 2. Meanwhile, on the red side, Leoric getting 17k XP, doing some work. Having a bit of a rough time, dying 4 times though. 18 kills to 6. That's our final Butcher's bill in favor of ProBUs. Sylvanas getting 2 kills, 60k hero damage, top on amateur opponent's team. And the healing numbers, once again, very close. Only 100 away from each other. 2 healers decking it out tonight. Duking it out. I was reading Deckard when I said that, so I said I said decking it out.
I prefer that.
Yes. All right. Well, let's see the talents, and then let's see if we can set up a little conversation with ProBUs, Team ProBUs. Let's jump over to an NGS room. Let's see. I'm thinking lobby 2. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
All right. So yeah, I gotta say that Deckard, his roots and endurance and fire breath, leap, all of that got a lot of work done.
You know, after the first game with these prolonged objective phases and prolonged team fights in general, that last fight was lightning fast. It was a kind of a blitzkrieg.
Oh yeah.
Looks like 8-bit is going to join us in just a moment here.
Whoa.
Arriving with fanfare of a sort, we have 8-bit from ProBUs. Hello.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yes, congratulations on the domination. Did I hear right that these two teams played each other recently and the outcome might have been a little bit different?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So ProBUs and amateur opponents faced off yesterday in the Legendary Cup for Heroes Lounge, and we ended up facing off twice. We both walked into the tournament as the 1 seeds in a match that they were able to knock us out, but because of the double elimination format, we ended up coming back and facing them again in round 2 in a best of 5 set, and all of those series ended up going the max distance. And in all of them, amateur opponents was able to come back and clinch the final map away from us. So it's been we spent a lot of time with Butte and her gang recently, but they've come together for some really fantastic sets. So hats off to amateur opponent, the legendary cup champions of Heroes Lounge. Happy today to get at least some small
Some
piece of
payback?
redemption. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's gracious of you to throw out the congratulations. Yeah, that sounds like an epic interaction between you guys, and it's just continuing. I'm just wondering if the two of you will end up in a playoff situation again in this division.
It's a very real possibility. Us and amateur opponents have sort of been shadowing each other for the better part of a few seasons now.
Hmm.
We always kind of end up in the same divisions, but because of the way brackets tend to work out, we actually have not had nearly as many matches against each other as we probably could or logically should have with another team that has been running parallel to us for so long.
Hmm.
So and actually, now that I think about it, this is actually the first time that I have managed to defeat amateur opponents in a 3-game plus set, including matches and scrims.
Oh, wow, fantastic end of a streak for you then.
Yeah, it's
Maybe the start of a new one. We shall see.
hopefully it's a streak that I was not too proud of, but here we are today.
All right. Well, game number one, 32 minutes long, lots to talk about, but how did you manage to stay cohesive after that early game seemed to be going against you, especially with what you'd just been through against this team? What was that like on comms and the turnaround especially? Like, when did you start to feel like, wait a minute, this is ours?
The match was certainly hard. Deathwing kind of gives a lot of zoning potential, and Shane plays it well. We knew that we were going to struggle through the early game when we put our comps together. We knew we had to wait until our percent damages came online at the 13 and 16 tiers. So there we weren't too distraught at the early stages of the game when we began to fall behind. Granted, we had hoped to play it a little bit better and not give up quite so much so quickly. But after the 16 tier, it kind of became a threshold shift where we had enough damage to kind of secure the kills before they secured their kills, and it ended up making a really big difference in those late game team fights. So that was kind of our thought process through the whole thing. We never really got down on ourselves. We always kept an eye on our win condition and the potential that we had in the late game. But man, was it hard.
Epic struggle in game one for sure. Silver, did you have any questions relating to game one before we move on?
Not particularly. I did enjoy your guys' comp. A lot of CC potential and the percent damage. I was definitely worried for amateur opponents later game.
Yeah, the CC potential is always very nice in a comp, unless you have someone on the other side that's permanently unstoppable. And the Anduin pull is quite frustrating for a CC heavy comp as well.
Oh
So
yeah.
it was tough. It was tough. They played it very well.
Let's move on to game two. So yeah, we just talked about maybe a bit of a slow start for you guys in game one. That didn't seem to be the case in game two. Kind of came out swinging. I don't know if you wanted to sort of walk us through maybe the beginning of that game or how you guys were feeling at the start of it, or if there was at any point where energy flagged maybe after the first game, because it didn't read that way on the field for me when I was watching.
It's hard to let your energy flag in these sets and these matches. The games are so intense. You're kind of gripped in them from start to finish, and then once it's all over, then it's this relief. So we kind of kept our focus through it. The double mage comp that we had constructed was a touch wonky. I think, the way our damage is kind of lined up with each other. Deathwing is really sort of like a second mage with the Mephisto as well, but they both are on the sustain side. So it ended up running a little bit more like a triple bruiser hyper carry comp, which, you know, they had some of the percent damages they needed to really kill that and make it tough. But you know, it just came down to making sure that the CCable targets played around those CCs and were very cautious not to get caught in the shields and the roots and the entombs that they had potential for on the other side.
Yeah, I noticed Mephisto changed hands. I think did Deathwing change hands as well? I wonder, like, and the bans were the same for both games. So, did this feel like a continuation from the two sets you had just played, or were either of these teams trying to throw maybe a curveball, or how scripted did this feel like? Did this feel like a third set, or was it sort of a new phase?
This was very much a new phase coming
Okay.
into this match. So something that a lot of people don't realize about ProBUs is that ProBUs registers fundamentally different teams for every tournament and names them all ProBUs. So,
Okay. Fun fact.
so actually, going from yesterday's sets in today's sets, there was only two players that carried over from yesterday
Ah,
into
okay.
today. You know, I was one of them, so for me, it was very much a continuation. For the other three guys, you know, they went from being fans to contestants. But of course, when you change up that much of your comp, it really radically changes, you know, hero pools and how you draft and how you play. So
Right.
it was a nice, it was really almost sort of like different teams facing off from yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if that helped a little bit. You just kind of had like some fresh energy. You didn't have the entire squad of 5 kind of remembering what you had just lived through. So that's an
Yeah,
interesting detail.
I think the other three members were certainly a lot fresher. Definitely, Irby and I at the end of yesterday's contest we were definitely not fresh. That's for sure.
Well, we recently played a series where the first game was long. It wasn't 32 minutes, but it was like 26 or something. It was pretty long. And just having one of those games that is that intense all the way through can really drain a team's tank, right? So I was curious to see how that would play out in game 2, just in terms of energy levels and who's still going to have something left in the tank,
Thank goodness I got a decent night's sleep. uh, on that regard, huge shout out to my wife for taking the sun early today and letting me get a little extra Z's. I think that made all the difference in the game today.
Yes, the behind the throne strength. I don't know if you had any questions from game 2, Silver, if you wanted to jump in with anything.
Not necessarily.
Okay. Well, you already started the shout outs, so I guess we could just keep rolling with those if you want to keep going with that.
Huge shout out to ProBUs, the NGS edition. Big procs to Zadie, Sage, Irby, and Tardicus, aka John Bunyan. Thanks for coming out today and putting together a great match. You guys got me super excited for the season ahead. Shout out to amateur opponents. We one more match under the belt of many to come, I am sure. Shout out to you guys, the casters. We always appreciate the cast. They're so much fun. Shout out to NGS for the great space that we are able to hang out and play in. And shout out to my lovely wife and son who both went to bed early. So I definitely know that nobody's watching tonight.
Well, there's always the VOD. So awesome. Well, congratulations again on the domination. And where were you? I think did I say in the start of the stream you were tied for second with a whole bunch of teams in B Northeast. Looks like it's going to be a pretty hotly contested division, so every domination is definitely going to count. So congrats to you for that.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'll be curious to see how this rivalry continues to take shape moving forward. All right, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, have a good night.
Have a lovely evening.
All right, Silver, here we are at the end of another cast. thanks again for joining me. Thanks for you were here in spirit for the the first game.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well done on the second one. And we have another cast coming up. So hopefully I will see you folks then and there. We're going to move to Division E West for the next, what I'm calling oddcasts, to be corny about it. And that's going to be Thursday, March 11th at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be watching... Oh, no, wait, I skipped ahead. Actually, it's Tuesday, March 2nd. If you're following along, if you're playing the home game. Phoenix Rising Amethyst versus Bull Moose Party. That will be Division E West on Tuesday, March 2nd at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So hopefully I will see you then. So yeah, until next time, I have been Odd Thought, and you have been Silver Jackal. We're still working out our flow.
Yep.
And 2-0 domination by ProBUs over amateur opponents in this Division B Northeast epic set. Have a good night, y'all. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.